I
am a child
am a child of rape.
I'm a child of rape.
Like many adoptees, for years I dreamed of being able to meet my birth mother. My search began on my 18th birthday, and I was shocked to have been told on that day that that door was closed and that I would never have the opportunity to meet her.
My parents were free with giving me all of the information that they had, and they had information about biological mom. She was 15, she was blonde, blue-eyed, Irish and English, her height, I believe I knew. And then on the father's side, there was like nothing, no information at all.
I decided to search for my birth mother. I asked my adoptive parents. They gave me a lot more information than I ever expected.
I went ahead and I petitioned for what's called my non-identifying information. It had everything you can imagine about my birth mother, but the only thing that it said for my biological father was that he was Caucasian and of large build. And I thought, that sounds like a police description. And I thought it over, called up my caseworker, and asked her, was my mom raped? And she said, yeah, I didn't want to tell you.
I finally submitted my application to receive the information. Nice description of my mother. Turn the letter to the next page, and the words, she said she was sexually assaulted, just jumped right off the page.
My birth mother was raped when she came out of a bar. She had 2 daughters at the time, and a third one didn't fit into her lifestyle. And back then, you didn't hear about abortion. So she decided she was going to drink her chemical cocktails for 9 months. She drank drain cleaner, she drank antifreeze, she drank anything that she could ingest at the time to abort me. When I was born with cancer. And at 2 days old, she dropped me off at her brother's house and his wife, and decided, well, they didn't have children, so they were going to adopt me. For about 2 years, it was good. Then they discovered I had cancer. Then they took out my right eye. And it was just a life of being in the hospital, and it was God's plan, and I followed it. Never bothered me at all.
I ended up being one of the first people in Michigan to have a judge allow my caseworker to try to contact my birth mother and see if she wanted to meet me, and it worked. We arranged for me to fly home and meet her on her 51st birth date, and she sent me photos and a letter. And she wrote things like, hoping by now that the shock of finding out all the details of your birth are forgotten. For that was not reason enough of having to give up something as beautiful as you were. And I felt so affirmed, like I was wanted.
The name that was on a document that was accidentally given to them at my adoption was published in the paper, and it matched my biological mother's name. There were several pregnancies that were terminated. The article was published in the paper because my biological mother prosecuted her father. Her father was also the father of the other children that were aborted, as well as myself.
I was 17 when my birth mother came to the school that I attended, and she wanted to see me. She left a letter stating the events of my conception, that I had been conceived out of rape.
I went before a judge and got permission, and was able to have the social worker at the court make contact. And unfortunately, at that time, she wasn't able to find my birth mother, but she did find my maternal grandmother, who was very angry at being found. But in the course of the conversation, and I didn't have the conversation, it was the court-appointed social worker, or the intermediary, she discovered and then relayed the information to me that I was conceived as the result of a date rape. And she said very brashly, you should have been aborted. And that's what the court-appointed intermediary relayed to me.
My mom left me a letter one day. Essentially, it said that when she was 24, she had been working at a diner in the evenings. There were regular customers, and one guy in particular would come in there. When my mom finished her work there and was preparing to go home and had left the diner, he was waiting for her in the parking lot. And I don't know how it happened, but somehow he got her into his car, drove to a park, and there he raped her.
And I'll never forget, I was probably a freshman in high school, and I said, Miss Arts, why don't I have information about my birth father? I have been given the information, at least the non-identifying information about birth mom, and nothing about birth father. And that's when she told me that my birth mother had been raped and that she had been a foster child and had been in the system herself.
I flew home, had a wonderful reunion weekend with her, and then got up the courage to ask her about abortion because I still needed to know. And she told me that she had actually gone to 2 back alley abortionists and that she would have aborted me if it had been legal. She did not choose life for me. She chose abortion. But pro-life advocates in Michigan chose life for me, and they made sure abortion was illegal even in cases of rape. They're my heroes, and I owe my life to them.
Well, I'll tell you, I was devastated when I found out that she was my mother and I was a product of rape. I had a lot of resentment I carried for a long time. I was in church, and the priest was saying, you'll never get to heaven unless you make some closures if you have any resentment. So I thought on it, and I thought, well, maybe I should do that. So I put some feelers out, and I got her number, and she knew I was going to call. And I said, this is Laura. She goes, I know. And I started to say something. She goes, I hate you. I've always hated you. I don't like how you've turned out. You're such a spoiled, rotten brat. And well, that took me as a shock, but I was calling for a closure, so I said, you know what, I'm just calling to thank you so much for giving me away. Thank you. They saved my life. They saved my one eye. And I said, God bless you for it. Thank you. And I hung up. And I value my life. Every day is a good day.
My search for my birth mother was a long and arduous one. Found her hometown. I made a trip there. It was stated that there was probably a rape by more than one, which infuriated me. But as I went on, I thought, I'm still lucky to be alive because she didn't abort me for some reason.
I learned of the circumstance of my existence. It took me a while to process, but ultimately I realized it doesn't matter who my biological father is. God is my father. And it makes no difference to me. I know the truth, and I'm happy with who I am. I have a wonderful family, and I now have sought and found my biological mother and have an additional family.
I couldn't see possibly how something like that would fit into God's plan for my life, and I rebelled, frankly. That rebellion, I sometimes refer to it affectionately as my 5 dark years, but it did a lot of things in that time. A lot of things to try to, I guess, cover up and ignore what the truth was about me. And in the years that passed since then, I came to know of some key passages in Scripture that really helped me out a lot, where God promises to be a father to the fatherless and the defender of the widow. And I came to own that verse to a degree, as though God was talking to me.
I wasn't in any way traumatized by that. I always knew deep down that God wanted me here, and it just reassured me through the years that there was a purpose of me being here.
I've never met my birth mom. Someday I hope to. And when we meet someday, I'm going to wrap my arms around her. I'm going to tell her I love her because she loved me. Loved me enough to give me my life, and then, I believe, loved me enough to give me the next most special gift I was ever given, and that's my family.
So I was really taken aback, but I also, it didn't matter. I knew that I was chosen, and that I not only was adopted into God's family, but adopted into the family that I had for a reason, and know that everything works out for a reason.
When I accepted my story as true, I felt an energy building inside of me And I felt that this is a very powerful and unique story. I felt a need to give back, or a willingness to give back to the system that saved me and protected me when I was a child.
Every day I thank the Lord when I wake up for the gift that He's given me of life. I cherish life. It is my life. I love it. And look at the family I have. My husband, 45 years. My son, 3 grandchildren. If I was aborted and I wasn't here, they wouldn't be here. It's all God's plan. God has a plan, and just follow His way.
Okay, we're out of time.